So I was just preparing some kindling. I figured this would be a good time to talk to you guys about a certain philosophy of mine. See, I'm not a prepper. I've said this to many guys. I don't have anything against prepping. It's just what I do as a bushcrafter is more about enjoying the great outdoors and bringing up a child who enjoys the great outdoors than it is preparing for when the stuff hits the fan. Now, in some ways I feel that I should be a prepper because I do think that the world is going to a bad place. And I don't know, maybe it's just, the whole Nat Geo preppers kind of showbiz thing has put me off it. I don't know, but I don't have a basement full of stuff, or canned goods or anything like that. I don't have a cache somewhere in the woods of supplies that I'll need when the zombies attack. None of that. Hell, I don't even have a place in the woods to go to. If the crap hits the fan, I'm bugging in, because at least there I know my environment. I don't have plans to get an AR-15 or anything like that. In fact, I do have to say that the guy who's bugging out into the woods with all the firearms is probably the one you don't want to be if the world ends, because that guy's going to have everyone gunning for him because of all his toys. Whereas the person who builds a community based on each member's various skill sets will probably have a better chance of surviving the end of the world. But I don't think about this stuff every day, This is all just stuff I think about when my prepper friends are talking about it. But where I do dovetail with preppers is in what I'm doing right now. I know that a true bushcrafter walks into the woods, finds his fire starting materials. Sorry. I'm trying to hit this not so hard. I'm trying to not hit this too hard because I'm talking into a microphone and I don't want to peak the noise. I usually just wail on it, but where was I? Yes. So a true bushcrafter goes into the woods, finds his kindling, finds his tinder, and I'm generally, I really buggered that pronunciation, and I'm generally like that myself, but I have begun, that's not the way to say that. My philosophy has changed. Right now what I'm doing is chopping up a bunch of wood that was left over from a building project. This one was actually part of a pallet because I've come to the conclusion that when it comes to setting up a fire when there's a 5-year-old sitting next to you, bring wood just in case. Be prepared just in case you can't find something. Try to find kindling, try to find tinder, but have a supply on hand just in case. And so, now, whenever we're doing a building project at home or something, my offcuts, I chop them up. They go into a box, and this box of stuff gets used, if I'm lighting the barbecue, because we use chunks of charcoal, and I light it with a flint and steel or with a ferro rod, so I use this stuff for that. I always have some in the car or in my bag, when I'm hitting the bush, which I haven't been doing a lot of lately, unfortunately. I've always got some on the go. And, depending on how often we're barbecuing in a specific season or whatever, it gets used up. It's not like I'm not piling up stuff that's never going to get used. Another reason why I do this is because when I'm preparing, when I'm doing this, my wood prep, this is an excellent time to teach Camille about axes, right? What we do is I hold this, she takes the rubber mallet, and she wails on that until it breaks. And what's happening there when we're doing that is I'm teaching her about aiming her blows, holding further back, aiming her blows, and building up a certain amount of accuracy. Excuse me. Because that's a skill that's going to translate to, you know, hey kitty, here's your brand new old stock Wetterlings Scandinavian Forest axe that I accidentally bought. And she'll already have built up some of the skills required to use that. And like, she's not going to get started on something small like this, because this is not as safe as something longer. I want something long enough that if she misses, boom, it goes into the dirt. But I mean, that's not happening right now. She's 5. She'll be 6 next week, but that doesn't mean she gets an axe right away. So, you know, like, yeah, this is pallet wood. This stuff is amazing for starting fires with because it's so dry. And it's not like a premium wood, right? It's not maple. It's not like oak. It's whatever, pine, spruce. But what else we do? Camila and I are always picking up sticks. This is a dry ass stick that we picked up in a park, right? This I'm gonna just cut up with my saw, my silky saw, and it's gonna be great stuff. There's a dead tree stump on the other end of this yard that we chopped into and dug up, which makes 2 of them in the past 2 years, because we're building a new fence. I poured some concrete footings this week. The missus painted up the posts. But look at these roots. These are dry. That tree has been dead for 15 years. The stump is rotting away. We were pulling that one up with a shovel, okay? Look at this dry root stuff. This lights amazingly. I feel like I'm Joe's Neon. Look at this stuff. But man, it just lights so well. So, I mean, I've got some of that in the garage for, you know, lighting the barbecue or whatever, because it's also easy enough to light that Camille is starting to be able to, you know, light fires more successfully. This is fluff that was growing on some sort of tree that I have no idea what it's called in English, and I've forgotten the name in French. But you see, it's got like seeds, and it was like pink, and the leaves were kind of round. So if any of you know what this tree is called in English, please let me know. But it lights beautifully, man. You go click, foop, up it goes. The barbecue aspect is because it's the way it's the way I keep my skills up, and it's the way I'm helping her develop skills, because we're not getting into the forest very often. But it's just, this stuff is everywhere. Every time you build something, or every time you see a pallet that's not good enough to build something with, or, you know, you take down a tree or a branch falls. Dude, if a branch gets cut down, I go and I grab it and throw it in the garage and let it dry out, and then I chop it up. So, but I mean, I know that this isn't really the bushcrafter way, but I feel that there's room for different approaches. You know, I don't think that we all have to be Ray Mears, even though that guy's, I don't like the term hero, but he's pretty damn close for me. I feel sometimes like that guy's living the life that I would want. But like, it doesn't always have to, there's no set rule here. You know, I ran into this on the Greenwood Carving Facebook group. Someone had asked about using a bandsaw to make his blanks, and of course that created all kinds of consternation. And I'm just so tired of people being dogmatic about everything. I don't have a bandsaw. But if I did, if that meant that I could pound out like a dozen blanks and then just get to carving, that's fucking legit, because it's still a handmade item. I'm just so tired of this kind of philosophy getting in the way all the time. So anyways, when I go camping, I've always got some of this stuff in the car. I got some in here for lighting the barbecue and lighting, you know, Camille and I still do little fires in my IKEA stove. What do you guys think? You know, am I being non-bushcrafterly by using 2x4s and picking wood up wherever I can, even when I'm not, you know, in the moment, shall we say? Or do some of you guys like to be a little more prepared? I think both approaches are legit. I'm not going to judge anyone for either one. But I do want to hear what you guys have to say about it. So as I always say, if you guys like what I'm doing, then please, by all means, comment down below. Share, subscribe, hit that little bell, and leave me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, then leave me a frowny thumb. Thanks for watching, guys.